Hello learner, welcome to Manifested e-learning platform. My name is Emily Ngwiri. Today we are discussing Business and Data Analytics, December 2024. The question of focus is question 23. Let's read together. Elimu Bazaar Foundation runs a group of secondary schools in the country. Among their schools is Masomo Bora High School. The schools are funded by a school fees and partially sponsored by capitation from the government and donations from alumni and well-wishers. Masomo Bora High School is preparing the budget for the year 2025 with 3 terms commencing January, May and September. The following details relate to the budget preparation. Number 1, the school estimates it will have 120 students in Form 1, 110 students in Form 2, and 100 students in Form 3, and 100 students in Form 4. The Form 1s will report in February 2025. The following is the fee structure that is payable by the parents per term. Form 1, 33,500. Form 2, 36,500. Form 3, 43,500. Form 4, 45,000. Number 2. Parents are usually required to pay 60% of the fee when the school opens. The balance at the beginning of the next month. Form 1s pay 60% when they report in February and 40% in March. Number 3. The school receives a capitation of 16,000 per student per term, which is received at the beginning of the term. Number 4. On average, the school receives donations of 2.5 million per month, but this reduces to 60% when the school is closed. Number 5. The school has a small farm from which it generates harvest produce. It is estimated that the produce generates 200,000 per month. Number 6. In addition, the school hires out the bus every weekend for events earning 60,000 per month, except in December when the bus driver is on leave. Number 7. The school pays on average salaries and wages of 6.2 million per month, even when the students have closed. Number 8. The school spends on average 550,000 on general consumables, which reduce to 60% when the school is closed. Number 9. The school buys new textbooks and also replaces old ones at the beginning of every term for 650,000. Number 10. The school provides meals to staff and students at an average cost of 1.5 million per month. This is catered for in the school fees and capitation. The amount reduces to 40% when the school is closed. Number 11. Electricity and water bills average 150,000 per month and 50,000 when the school is closed. Repairs and maintenance also amount to 250,000 per month and reduces to 40,000 when the school is closed. Number 12. The school plans to buy additional learning and staff equipment worth 1.5 million in January and replace old furniture at a cost of 2 million. In May, the old furniture will be scrapped at 200,000. Number 13. The school has a loan for which it will pay annual installment of 2 million and interest of 200,000 in December. Number 14. The school estimates that it will have cash balance of 5.5 million on 1st January 2025. Required. Prepare a cash budget for the year ended 31st December 2025 on a month-by-month basis and also for the whole year. So what we're going to do, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move towards the right here as usual, and then we are going to now bring forth or break down in form of an analysis per month, what we'll be talking about, what Form 1, the number of students, and also and the fees that are going to be paid per student. Let's dive right in. So here we have January like that. And we are saying we are preparing for which year? For this as a 31st December 2025. So we will begin by January. So just come over here and say Jan hyphen 25. And then February hyphen 25. Not like that. We're just going to say, we're going to put Jan 25. That. And you're going to put Feb 25. Feb 25. That. So when you have Jan 25, so it's not following through like that. So we come over, we just, what we do, just come like this. Jan 25. That. So this is what I'll do. I'll come to custom, come to more number formats, and I'll look at just the year. I'll look for the year and the month. This is day, month, year. This is day and month. I want the year. So we scroll down here. Over here. Not 1st Jan, not so we just talk about 31st Jan 2025. So we're just going to talk about the end of the month. So you're going to talk 31st Jan 2025. Then here we talk about 28 or 29 days 2025. So 2025 is not divisible by, is it divisible by 3? So it should be a leap year. 2025 should be, is it a leap year? So 20, so how you just determine is that 2025 over 3 over 4. It's not divisible by 4, so just delete that. So talk about 28 Feb 2025. So you're just picking the end of months. So it's not 31st March, and it's picking now the way I want, the way I wanted it to pick. So I want to go all the way to December. Let's see. When I highlight like that and just express it like that, expand it, that. That first step, 2025. So once we have that, then we can then proceed on to look at the information that is given to us over here. So we're talking about, we'll need to analyze point number 1 over here together with the fees. So point number 1, the school estimates it will have 120 students in Form 1, 110 students in Form 2, 100 students in Form 3, and 100 students in Form 4. The Form 1s will report in February 2025. So here, we've not been told, I'm just preparing this as at the end of the month over here, but we're saying that obviously if they report in first, it's the 1st of February 2025 over here. So allow me to use just that format over here. So I may need to put it in that format, like that. Allow me to put it in that format so that now it can at least be much better, give better visuals here. So now we're saying that the number of students, we can just analyze over here number of students over here. The number of students, and we're saying that we'll create a gap right over here, insert, right over here. And the number of students will have to type Form 1 through to Form 4. Form 2, like that. Form 1 to Form 4. And then we'll also need to analyze the fees per student. fee per student. So I just maybe perhaps insert here. Just drag it down here. Fee per student. So I'll just copy this right over here. So copy and just put right down over here like that. And once we have that, then we go to the information or the details that relate to the budget preparation. The school estimates 120 students in Form 1. So here we are told 120 students in Form 1, 110 students in Form 2, 100 students in Form 3, 100 students in Form 4. But we've been told that Form 1s will report in February 2025. So what happens is that when we come to this information right over here, we are saying that Form 1, there's nothing to do with January right over here. We'll expect 120 students there in February. And also in March, we'll also expect 120 students in March. For Form 1, that is. So because we've been told that the 120 students, Form 1s will report in January 2025, we will now proceed on to see when the months actually, the term dates actually are. So we move on to the beginning with the 3 terms commencing January, May, and September. So we'll do the same for May over here. So here is going to be, of course, the holiday. So we'll proceed on to put 120 students. And June, 120. That. So in July, we're not going to have them. August, we're not going to have them, because this is going to be the holiday. So September and October, we're also going to have the same students. So we're saying that with the 3 terms commencing January, May, and September. So September, so you said now we go to September. So this is May and September. So 120, 120. That. Let's just make sure that the Form 1s will report in February. Following the fee structure that is payable parents per term. So now let's analyze, first of all, we finish off this part in part 1, or this segment that relates to part 1 over here. So 120 students in Form 1. Now we do 110 students in Form 2. And those ones come in January. So Form 2, 110. And also in February, 110. There. In March, we've not been given any information about March, right over here. So we will do the same also for the semesters in May. So here, it's going to be 10, 10. Here is 10 and 110. 110, 110. Form 3s, let's see, they don't have an issue for Form 3s. 100 students in Form 3 and 100 students in Form 4. So the same for Form 3 and Form 4. Form 3 is 100 and 100. That. So we just drag those ones like that. And then here we put in 100 and 100. And then over here, we put in the same. Like that. Now let's analyze the fee per student. So the school estimates 120 students. This one we've analyzed. The following fee structures is payable by the parents per term. 33,500 in Form 1, Form 2, 36,500, Form 3, 43,500, Form 4, 45,000. So we are saying that in Form 1 is 33,500, but we are saying that they join in when? When do they join? They join in February. So per parent per term. So here we have 33,500. Like that. And here we have 33,500. Per term. Let me just understand that. The following is the fee structure that is payable by parents per term. Like that. Parents are usually paid 60% of fee when the school opens and the balance at the beginning of the next month. So here is 33,500. That is going to be like that. And you're saying 33,500. Let me just put it like that first. And then for Form 2, we are saying is going to be how much? Here is the information. 36,500. And you're going to do it over here in January. 36,500. That Form 3 is going to be 43,000. Here's Form 3, 43,500 and 45,000. 43,500 there and 45,000. Like that. Then we are saying that this information is going to be done the same now in May. Over here. Let me just confirm one thing. The parents are usually paid 60% when the school opens, the balance at the beginning of the next month. Over here. So here, the school opens in May. Over here, we expected to pay the same. So in May, it's just going to be that value. And then this one is just going to be that value. That, just drag it down. Drag it down like that. I'm just putting the fees, the total fees when they're supposed to be. The breakdown will actually be done when we create the cash budget. This is just the preliminary information that I'm just putting over here to at least make sure that this information is broken down and synthesized easily. Now let's go to the September semester, or the September term rather. So here we're saying it's just going to be 33,500, that one there. It's going to break it down like that. There. So now, once we have that, then let's prepare the cash budget, because what we've been informed right here down, prepare a cash budget for the year ended 31st December 2025 on a month-on-month basis, and also for the whole year like that. So this is the preliminary information put right over here. We will be able to break it down like I've just mentioned earlier on. So I put the comma format and then 2 decimal points like that. That's what I need. Show the cash budget. So here we come cash budget. Cash budget will have the receipts and will have the expenditure or the payments there. So the cash budget begins by looking at the years, of course. That, shift, to there, Control R. And then, because we are seeing that these ones are going to be in thousands, like that. Center like that. So we put these ones also like that until December. Thousands. And then we start it out. Balance at the beginning. We've been given balances that are supposed to be there at the beginning. So balance at the beginning. At the beginning. Put it in the short form like that. And let's look at it together. This is the electricity and water bills. The plans to buy additional, these are the information that's right over. The cash budget is what you've been told to create. The school estimates to have a cash balance of 5.5 million, like that. So once we have 5.5 million as on 1st January 2025, we can just come right over here and say that here, because it's in millions, 5,500. That's at the beginning there. And this one is, of course, note number 14. Please let me just put it note number 14. Let me just allow me to put it maybe somewhere just beside it over here. I can just insert here, insert, so that I cannot perhaps become mixed up. This is note number 14 over here. Or I don't have to do it like that. I can just put inside a comment, insert a comment, insert, right click, I right click over here, insert a comment over here and say note number 14. Note 14. That. So that when you hover like that, you can see it's note number 14 there. And then once we have that, we now analyze now the receipts right here. Receipts. Control B. And you're saying that the receipts, we'll start by saying the fees right over here, fees. Like so. And we start by putting from Form 1 through to Form 4. So copy. Like that. And we can see that for Form 1, we don't receive it in January. Why? Because they join at this point over here. So Form 1, we are saying they join in February. And we are saying that we will need to first of all pick, seeing that the school estimates it will have 120 students in Form 1, 110 students in Form 2, 100 students in Form 3, 100 students in Form 4. The Form 1s will report when? The month of February 2025. So we will pick the 120 students times this fee, but it will not appear in January. It will appear when? In February when they actually join over there. Additionally, we need to also consider note number 2. The parents are usually required to pay 60% of the fee when the school opens and the balance at the beginning of the next month. That is, Form 1s pay 60% when they report in February and 40% in March. So what I'll do, I will pick the fee, which is 33,500, and multiply that with the number of students when they join. And then I'll multiply 60% because they're supposed to pay 60% times 0.6, which represents 60%. And because I want it in terms of thousands, why? Because I've put that in terms of thousands, I divide by 1,000. That's what I get there. Now the balance of 40%, this is 60%, you can see it's 60%. The 40%, why I'm putting the 120 over here, students will still be in March over here, they will still be there. So if I drag it across, I drag, or I do it like this, I pick 33,500 and I multiply with the number of students there, which will still be in March, I'm saying because they joined in February, times 0.4, that's the 40%, divided by 1,000. I get that. That is the balance fee that they're actually being paid over there. So I don't need even to have this column over here. So just delete it, that there. Even these ones, we may not necessarily need them right over here because they're just going to be the students when they join, like over there. So I just deleted those ones over there. I was just putting them over there so that now I can be able to see maybe, or in terms of computation, how I'd be able to compute them like that. This is when the Form 1 students join. So we can be able to put over here that, so the comma format, that. Form 2, we do the same. Form 2s join in January, there. And we are saying, what for Form 2s? Let's see. Form 2s are 110 students, Form 2, 100 students in Form 3, 100 students in Form 4. Form 1s join report in February 2025, that's okay. So Form 2s, I've got 36,500 Parents usually pay 60% of fee when the school opens and the balance at the beginning of the next month. But Form 1's is the same. So required to pay 60% of fee when the school opens. So that's it. We just do the same for Form 2. I will pick Form 2, the fee per student. I multiply that with the number of students there. And then I multiply by 60%, 0.6, it required 60%. And then I divide by 1,000. That. So that's what I expect to have from Form 2. So if I do it like that and I perhaps just drag it down like that, there'll be no harm. But here we're saying that we'll expect now 40% now. Here is 60%. You can see it's from here, from the formula bar here. Now I'm saying 40%. So I'll pick for Form 2 the number of students. I multiply that with the fee per student, that one there like that. And then I multiply by 40% and I divide by 1,000. That's what I get. So if I drag it down, there'll be no harm. Like that. And we can be able to do that for the same periods right over here. Or for the May semester. June, we don't expect to still have, we still have the number of students remaining like that, be the same. I was putting it so that it can be able to ease in the process, but now, ease in the computations rather, but now I can just delete them like that. So once we have that, then we are saying we expect to have the same computations for, for the May semester or May term, and also for the September term. So putting it all together over here, I just copy this, it will pick with the formulas, copy. I come to the May term right over here. You can see it's like that. And then I pick these ones over here, it will pick copy. Just come right over here. It will pick. It doesn't change much. Because I'm saying I'm picking the number of the fee per student times the number of students for Form 2. It's not expected to change. And so if I pick this the same, it should actually essentially be the same, because the students are going to come in June. Right there. So I'll put 120, so I'll need to put that there, and then over here the fee should be 33,500. This should actually be right here, like that. So, apologies for that. I'm just saying that the 60 students, this is 60%. So the 40% should be based on the same. So I can just pick, I don't even need to put the 120 right over here. You're paying 60% and 40%. So it's just going to be for Form 1, that value times that, which is the number of students, times 0.6 divided by 1,000. Not 0.6, excuse me, 0.4. The 0.6 is covered over here. You can see the 0.6 is here, 60%, and here is 40%. And then we are saying that now the 40% be covered like that. And so if I drag it down like that, it should be able to come those values like that. Moving along, just maybe perhaps condense this. by double clicking it like that. The other semester, the other term, excuse me, is right here. Just copy this, it copies the formula. Right here, the September formula, that. Because you're saying we're going to pick the 36,500, so it goes 2412, right there, and then 2409, and then 2610, 2700 there. Of course, these ones will also copy the same from above there like that. Why? Because I'm picking 40% of that one times that one divided by 1,000 there. We will need to also have a total right here, total. So drag this across like that. Copy cells, I just want it copied. Bold. And so here, what I'll just pick is the sum of all of these values here, from January through to December. Close the brackets, enter. So the fees that are going to be collected for each month, or for each year, is 12,060, yes. And then I drag it down all the way like that, like so. So let's move on. Still under receipts, analyze the fees. These are all fees, receipts. Let's see what else we've been given. So in terms of the fees, we have analyzed that information right there. Allow me to put it in maybe a very faint color, like so. That one we've analyzed. We've also analyzed this information that's right over here, where the parents were supposed to pay 60% of the fee when the school opens, and the balance remaining months, which is 40%. Note number 3 here, we talk about capitation. So let's highlight that. The school receives capitation of 16,000 per student per term, which is received at the beginning of the term. And so we are saying the 16,000 will be based on, we want to calculate it based on the number of students. The Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, and Form 4 students each receive 16,000. So we can say over here, capitation, right over here, and I'll pick all the students, Form 1, not the fee per student, the students, that plus that plus that plus that, and then I multiply that by 16,000, and then I divide by 1,000. Why? Because we're expressing it in terms of thousands here. That value should be placed in the month of January, right there. Put it like so. Why? Because we are told the school receives capitation per student per term, which is received at the beginning of the term. It's received in January, month of January, right over here. This should be bolded. This should be bolded, Control B. So that's what they receive. They also receive, so copy. So I'll also do the same for this term right over here. Put the brackets for all the students, plus that, plus that, plus that, times 16,000 over 1,000. It's the same. This is the same as that. So that format painter come there. And I can copy this as well for the September term, right there, like that. That's capitation. Let's look at and try and see if there are any other receipts On average, the school receives donation of 2.5 million. So this one you can also highlight right over here, donation, 2.5 million per month, but this reduces to 60% when the school is closed. So we come over here, donation, down over here, donation. And we can come right over here and say that the amount, the amount was how much? On average, 2.5 million. So it's 2,500. I can put 2,500, that, per month. Did you say per month? Just to confirm. Per month, but reduces to 60%. Yes, it's per month. So it's good to be correct, like that. And then can pick plus that value and reduces to 60% times 0.6. Yes, like that. And then it returns back again to that one there. So it comes back to 15% during the August holidays. You can see the August holiday here. And then we drag it to the December semester 1500, like that. So 25, 25, 25. This is the December holiday there. This is the August holiday. It comes to 60%. And this one comes to 60%. That's fine. Still part of the receipts. Let's analyze another receipt if we have. The school has a small farm from which it generates harvested produce. It is estimated that the produce generates 200,000 per month. There's nothing else we are told whether it produces or anything, so it's all year round. 200,000. So harvest, sale of harvest, that. So here we're in January, so 200. Remember, it's in thousands here, so 200,000, so it's 200. That, and it's all year round up to December. 200. Do we have any other receipt? In addition, the school hires a bus every weekend for events earning 60,000 per month, except in December when the bus driver is on leave. So here we highlight it and say bus hire income. Excuse me, I need to see how much it was. 60,000. So just put 60 here. Not until December, no, until November. Until November. December, we've been told driver will be on leave. So we are seeing, of course, these ones are also going to be totals. We're talking about the totals right over here. Like that. So it picks everything from there. So all the totals. Let's see if we have any other income. The school pays, that's an expense. The school spends, that's okay. The school buys new textbooks, that's an expenditure. The school provides meals to staff at average cost, that's an expenditure. Electricity and water bills, expenditure. The school plans to buy additional learning and staff equipment worth 1.5 million and replace the old furniture at a cost of 2 million in May. The old furniture will be scrapped. This is a scrap value right over here at 200,000. So the scrap value, the 200,000, should be an income to the school. And which month should it be placed on? It should be placed in the month of May, in May. So the old furniture will be scrapped at 200,000. So in May, we can just put sale of furniture. But here you're seeing May is where, right here we just put 200 like that. And then do we have any other income? Let me just confirm. So here I'll just highlight just this part here. Allow me to highlight just this part. With your permission, just do that. The school has a loan, that's okay. The interest is going to be an expense. The school estimates that it will have a cash balance of 5.5 million. That one we've already factored in. So we'll need then to look at total receipts right here. Total receipts, and we can put it, we can bolden this, Control B, like that, right over here. And we're seeing total receipts sum from here. So I'll need to put it like that, and then I reduce it. That, so I just put Control R. Those are the totals that I expect. Over here. So once I see that, I can say that I'm happy. Just going to go and double check each and every item, and once I finish off the expenses right there. So of course I'll just need this to be in this format, all of this to be in that format, like that. Yes, that's what I expect it to look like. So that's total receipts over here. And so with these total receipts being computed or having been computed, then of course we can put it now the double underline, come up over here, look it like that. Let's analyze the payments right down over here. So payments, the payments here can start off from the top as we come down. So from the top here, the ones which are highlighted are incomes. The school pays on average salary. So we start with this one over here. Right over here. Allow me to use a different color, please, with permission. So that one, maybe you can put it like that. Yes, that should represent costs, payments. And we say the school pays on average salaries and wages of 6.2 million per month, even when the students have closed. So salaries and wages. So let's go step by step. So we are saying the amount was 6.2 million. So you can put 6,200 over here. That 6,200 and drag it across. Sum of all of these values. So just looking at. Yes, once we have that, then salaries and wages, we can move on to the next item. School spends 550,000 on general consumables, which reduced to 60% when the school is closed. So we highlight that. That's also our payment cost. We can term it as general consumables. General consumables. 550,000. 60% when schools are closed, 550,000. So here we can talk about 550, like this, and then 60% times that. So we're talking about 330, and then it comes back again over here, like that. Drag it to the end. Here we are saying we have that value like that. That's total. I can drag it all the way down here. Next payment that we have to analyze, number 9. The school buys new textbooks and also replaces old ones at the beginning of the term at 650,000. So at the beginning of every term. Highlight that. You can see textbooks Is there any other item? Textbooks. The textbooks replaces old ones at the beginning of the term at 650. Yeah, 650. So it's just 650 at the beginning of every term. So 650. So we talk about May 650, and then you are saying we'll go to September 650, like that. We're going to 1950. Analyze another payment. The school provides meals to staff and students at an average cost of 1.5 million per month. This is catered for in the school fees and capitation. The amount reduces to 40% when the school is closed. So let's talk about 1.5 million. We talk about food and drinks or foods. Here, 1,500. 1.5 million. You're saying it's 50 per month. 1,500 per month, and you can see it's per month. Per month, yes. 40%, it drops down to 40% when the school is closed. So here we have that, and then we say 40% times that value. So it comes back again now when you talk about May. So drive it to the end. That is food. So that one can be highlighted as done. Number 11, electricity and water bills average 150,000 per month and 50,000 when the school is closed. Repairs and maintenance also amount to 250,000 per month and reduces to 40% when the school is closed. So you can just do electricity and water and repairs and maintenance. So just come over here. Electricity and water. Copy. And then I come to repairs and maintenance. Repairs and maintenance, I come right over here and copy this. There. So electricity and water, 150 per month. 50,000 when the school is closed. So 150 per month. So 150,000. It's 150. Here we also have for the 3 months 150,000, and then 50,000 when the school is closed. 50. So I copy it so that now it can just follow through in that order. And then for the repairs and maintenance, you can just highlight that one there. Repairs and maintenance also amount to 250,000 per month. It reduces to 40% when the school is closed. So 250,000. Repairs is 250 per month. It reduces to 40%. 40% times that value is 100. So I want it to be in that order. That. So I talk about the repairs and maintenance. So because January, February, March 100, April, May, June 100, and then 250, 250, 250, 100. So that goes to 2550. Okay, so once we've had that, then we're saying that we will need just to analyze the repairs when the school 250 per month and reduces to 40,000 when the school is closed. Okay, just wanted to check whether in April 100, August it's 100, and in December it's 100 there. It's okay. Any other cost or payment? The school plans to buy additional learning equipment, or purchase of equipment worth 1.5 million in January and replace the old furniture at a cost of 2 million, like that. So we're talking about purchase of equipment. Have we been told which month? Yes, additional learning staff equipment of 1.5 million in January. So that's a cost. And we can say purchase of equipment right here of equipment. Purchase of equipment, and we are saying right over here, it's going to be 1,500. Yeah, 1,500 in January. So here you put 1,500, like that. Perhaps I can be able just to squeeze it up a bit. Yeah, like that. So once we have it like that, then we're saying we can then proceed on to purchase of equipment. What did I do here? I think I must have dragged it down. Yeah, so it's not supposed to have been dragged down like that. Here. Purchase of equipment, 1,500 in January, and replace the old furniture at a cost of 2 million in May. So in May here, where is May? We should put 2 million or 2,000, because we're saying we express it in terms of thousands there, that. And then these values should be, of course, like that in May. So this one should now then total should actually be now in beige. Is there any other cost? Number 13, the school van. The school has a loan for which it will pay annual installment of 2 million and interest rate of 200,000 in December. So we come to loan repayment. Loan repayment right here. And you're saying when you have the loan repayment, it will be paid, the school has a loan for which it will pay the annual installment of 2 million and interest of 2,000 in December. So that's the loan repayment. So here you should be able to specify principal. And here interest. Interest. So here, the loan principal, so can come right over here and put it as 2 million and 200,000, and both in December. It's going to be 2 million. Loan principal, is that principal? Yes, 2 and 200,000, like that. Like that. So let me analyze and see if there's anything else that we have. School estimate, it will have a cash balance of 5.5. This one has already been factored in right over here. So we'll need to then analyze the total payments. Total payments. This can be boldened. Over here, Control B. Can be put top and bottom border like that. And can be dragged up there like that. But here as sum of what? All of these payments up to down here. Close the brackets, enter. and then we drag it across like that. So this one, of course, was the total moving across like that. It should not be boldened. That. So we're talking about, so the total here, and you can see it's 107,340, should be the same as this one moving across like that, 107,340. So just pick some of all of those. It doesn't matter which side they go. 107,340. So we'll need then to move ahead and analyze the balance as at the end. As at the end over here, we will take, of course, the total receipts minus total payments, but we add the cash at the beginning. So what I mean is this: I will pick cash at the beginning, this cash at the beginning balance, which was given to us over here. We add the receipts, and then we less the payments, so that we can be able to see how much we have right there. Balance at the end. This balance at the end becomes the balance at the beginning right over here. So for February, balance at the beginning should be the balance at the end right here. So put it like that. That. And I can be able to just drag it across like so, up till there. And because this one has got a formula, just drag it across till there. And with that, we can then say that now we will also need to pick, these values here can be spread out like that. Yes. This is the balance. Yeah, so I pick the balance at the beginning, we add the receipts, and then we subtract balance, then we subtract the total payments right over here, and then we get this one, it comes up right over here. With the balance at the beginning right here, we add the receipts, and then we less the payments right over here, we get negative 285. That. So if I just drag it across like that, and this one I drag it across like so, you can see this is the total balance that actually have right over here. And with that analysis, we can say that actually we've overdrawn our account by 6,270,000, like that. Thank you for being with Manifested Publishers. We hope that you've enjoyed this question 23, Business and Data Analytics for the December 2024. Thank you for being with us.